Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sammy. I've been dropshipping on eBay for the last 8 years, and today I got a question. Somebody said that, hey, bro, my client of mine, we are at 4,500 listings, and his sales are looking like this. He sent a picture. We run 5% coupons with most of the listings at 70% markup with 5% promoted. I really don't want to lose this guy, but sales are inconsistent as hell and super slow. So the guy is running the agency model, right? His name is Toto, and I'm gonna go ahead and answer how to get more sales for him. So he sent me this picture, right? We can see that in the last 7 days, he did $534 in revenue, and we can extrapolate in the last 31 days that his revenue is about 2,136, 534 times 4. So his problem, right? He's saying that I'm not getting enough sales, right? What do I do? Right? His conditions are the following: 4,500 listings, 70% markup, 5% coupon, 5% promotion. All right. So here's the solution total. So if you got 4,500 listings, the first thing you got to do is get the 10K listings, right? If you're doing 2,000 in revenue this month, then with 10,000 listings, which is double the listings that you currently have, it's fair to say that you're going to double your revenue, right? It's going to go from 2K to 4K right away. Secondly, right, let's address the problem of profit, right? You're probably not making too much because you have a 70% markup and you're kind of worried. The fact that you're worried means that you're not making much, right? If you're making from that 2,000 revenue, if you're making $1,000, we wouldn't have that problem, right? So the way that you get more profitable is increase your markup, right? You're at a 70% markup, increase it to 80%, right? But increase the markups as your listing items, right? The next 1,000 listings, right? Go for 80% markup. The next 1,000, 90%, next 1,000, 100%, next 1,000, 110, next 1,000, 120. You're not gonna get as many sales if you go ahead and increase the markup, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna get more profitable. And that's really what we're trying to do here, right? So the next thing is you said you run a 5% coupon, switch that out. Don't do coupons anymore. Forget about that word. Always do a sales event or a markdown sale. The reason why is because any experienced marketer, he's going to tell you that a sales event, right? The last 4 hours of a sales event, that's when everybody buys from you, right? If you give a sales event that's 4 years long, people are going to buy at the very last day, even if it's 4 years long, because they're going to FOMO at the last minute, right? So if you put a coupon, right, it's the coupon is the same as having a sales event for 4 years. There's no urgency to drive somebody to go ahead and take action. So you want to go ahead and have markdown sales so that way you can drive action. Right. So the next thing is, and make sure the markdown sells every 24 hours, right? You want to loop it every single day, right? Every day, your job is turn on the markdown sale. So I don't know. The next thing is, I don't know what your handling time is. If it's 2 days, 3 days, switch it down to one. Why? Because people love convenience, right? The faster that you can get your items out, or the faster that they think that you're going to get their items out, the more that they're willing to pay, the more that they're willing to go ahead and take the decision to go ahead and purchase the item for you from you. Same thing with the shipping time, right? Decrease the shipping time to 1 to 4 days. We use Amazon Prime as our fulfiller, so we're always gonna be okay, right? They deliver within 2 days, like 95% of the time. So the opposite is true as well. If you put your handling time to 99 days, you're gonna get zero sales. So that means the opposite is true. The less your handling time, the less your shipping time, the more sales that you're gonna get. And if you do this, right, I'm giving you a conservative number. You're gonna go from 2,000 in revenue to 5,000 a month in revenue. It could be a lot more, right? And let's go ahead and talk about how to make sure that you really understand the concept of how to get it past 5,000 to 10,000 and whatever you want, yeah? So this is going to be an advanced concept, right? And it's the concept of sales bring sales. And for anybody wondering, I'm not going to go too deep into how the algorithm works because I already have two videos on my YouTube channel. It's called eBay Secret Patent Part 1 and eBay Secret Patent Part 2. So you can watch those videos over there. But let's go ahead and talk about this for a second, right? Why do sales bring sales? Right? We all talk about that. We've heard this before, but why does this happen, right? And I'm going to give you a quick introduction to the secret patent, right? You can watch it in my other videos, yeah? So there's something called a listing quality score. That's a back-end metric that's applied to your eBay account. And this listing quality score, what happens is it determines how high your eBay account or your items are going to rank in the search results, right? So if you have a high listing quality score, you're going to have a high ranking in the search results, right? So that means higher rankings equals more visibility equals more sales. What does visibility mean, right? It means that people are going to be able to see your items. If they can see it, they can buy it, right? People are not looking at the 200th page on eBay for your item. People are lazy, right? They want to look at the first page, the second page, the third page, and then after that, they're done, right? So the higher that you rank in the search results, the more sales that you're going to get. And one of the key factors in all of this is your listing quality score. So another question is, how do you increase your listing quality score? That's the question, right? So in the patent, in the videos, I explained that every successful sale increases your listing quality score. So that means that right over here, you can see that a successful sale, right, increases your listing quality score by one. And if it increases by one, then you're gonna have the chance for another sale to happen. And then this loop happens over and over again. And this is the concept of momentum, right? So let me go ahead and just circle that over here for you. I already did it in some other video, but all right. So now the opposite is also true. That means that unsuccessful sales will decrease the listing quality score of your account, right? So that means that if you get unsuccessful transactions that happen on your account, then your listing quality score on all of your items decrease, and that means you're going to have less visibility on all of your items. And if you have less visibility, that means automatically you're going to have less sales, right? So what constitutes as an unsuccessful sale? It's basically any transaction that happens or occurs that eBay doesn't get to collect revenue for, right? Any fees. So if eBay is not getting paid, your listing quality score is going to decrease if they gave you a transaction. So that means that if you cancel an order, right? If you get an items not received case, if you get returns, all of these things means that eBay doesn't get to collect revenue from you, and they're going to go ahead and decrease the listing quality score because somebody else is making the money. So make sure that you never cancel your orders, right? This is the one thing that you can avoid, right? If your listing is out of stock or for whatever reason the price is higher, just go ahead and purchase it, ship it out. Why? Because today's sale is going to pave the way for tomorrow's profits, right? If you get an items not received cases, by the way, for canceling orders out of stock, find alternatives, do whatever you gotta. I have videos on my YouTube channel that explain how to do all of this, right, and detail. So I'm not gonna go too deep into it. If you get items not received cases, make sure that you're communicating with the buyer up front, have them close the case, and then go ahead and ship them out another item, give them more value, do something so that way they close that case and eBay gets their money. Same with returns, right? Tell them that hey, they can keep the item, can they close the returns? Or in returns, you can't really do much about this in my opinion, but um, if you know a way to minimize that, then do so. Like for example, if an item is selling so many times and is getting so many returns, delete that item, never list it again. All right. So now the question is what's the fastest way of getting successful transactions so that way you can get momentum into your account? Sniping. I have videos on my YouTube channel on how to do sniping, so you can check that out. But yeah, total. So this is how you get more sales and get your revenue to 5K. You probably make 1 to 3 thousand a month when you if you execute it like this, yeah? For everybody watching, right, this video is sponsored by Ecom Sniper. You can get Ecom Sniper for 97 bucks. It includes the course and access to the software for 1 month, and you get to list 3,000 items, and you'll be on your way to making 1 to 3K. Alrighty, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.